Good afternoon. Today we will be covering the topic of epistasis. According to the Oxford Languages definition, epistasis is the interaction of genes that are not alleles, in particular the suppression of the effect of one such gene by another. Simply put, multiple genes can be expressed, but we only see one appearance or phenotype. In an epistatic relationship, there is always a masker and a mast. Take this example. Genotype means genetic composition, like gene A or gene B. Phenotype means observable composition, like red or blue. We can assume here that by themselves, A means red and B means blue. But what if we bring gene A and gene B together? We only see the phenotype red. Therefore, gene A is an epistatic gene because it masks gene B's phenotype of blue. This is a very simplified example showing a 1:0 ratio of red to blue. However, in nature there tends to be more diverse phenotypic ratios. Depending on the modes of epistasis, we see different ratios. If we were unaffected or without epistasis, we see Mendel's ratio 9:3:1. This describes the progeny of the first generation after the parent generation. The ratio takes into consideration both the color and the shape of peas. To the right, I have converted the ratio to only consider the color. This will be our base model in the following slides covering 6 modes of epistasis. We will observe the color skittles with the possible colors of yellow, pink, blue, and green. Single recessive, aka 9:3:4. Imagine that a recessive allele at one gene will mask the expression of the alleles on the second gene. We will go more in depth with this specific mode, but I will first just show you the other possible 5 modes. Single dominant, duplicate recessive epistasis, duplicate genes with cumulative effects, duplicate dominant epistasis, dominant and recessive epistasis. And now we return to single recessive. This example assumes that both first-generation parents producing this progeny is heterozygous or containing both the dominant and recessive alleles. This is the same configuration as Mendel's dihybrid cross. Typically the ratio would be 9:3:1, except the single recessive epistasis is in effect. This means that regardless of the skittle B allele, if the skittle A allele is recessive, then the skittles produced will be green, so the green gene is epistatic and masking the pink gene. In this second example, we assume that the first-generation parents producing this progeny is big A, big B, and little a, big B, little b. The resulting progeny is 8:8 or 1:1. To explain this, regardless of the skittle B allele, if the skittle A allele is recessive, then the skittles produced will be red.